What's up, guys? I'm Chase here with
JD.
And we're excited about this podcast, episode number 2.
That's right.
Our first one went really well.
Yes.
Got some good feedback about that. You guys dropped some questions. So that leads us to today, which is going to be the top 3 questions we get about the cost of turf.
Right.
Yeah. So let's get into it. What is the cost of turf? So the first question you guys asked was, how expensive are our products? And I actually feel like this is a discreet way of asking, how much is my backyard install going to cost? But yeah. But let's just actually talk about how much our products cost. So how much are our products?
And that is the number one question, right? How much is the turf? How much is it per square feet? We get that on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, everywhere. And the average, really plainly put, is from anywhere from $12 to $15 per square foot.
Right.
But the thing about that is that doesn't mean you don't want to calculate that for your whole just backyard, right? The measurements, because you can offset that with rock beds. We have fire pits, pavers, even outdoor lighting systems. But a lot of people like to offset costs, whether they're financing it or paying out in full. Is they put rock borders around, and it comes out great. It's not like kind of a cheap way, like, oh, you get a lot of turf. It actually still comes out looking amazing.
Yeah, I actually like it better than just turf all the way through. I think it gives a nice contrast to the yard.
Totally.
Especially if you have that nice wooden fence and you have the rock and then the turf.
Yes. Yeah, it gives some separation from that.
Yeah. And you'll see if you guys call for a quote, when the guys come out, they actually design your backyard with you. So it's not just like, turf just all across your backyard. But we design what makes sense. We'll suggest some stuff to you too, like pavers, So it's a pretty cool process.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But we have ways of getting our turf products to fit your budget. Is that
That's correct. Yeah, that's the main thing we keep in mind. We want it to be a win-win. We don't want it to, overburden your pocketbook.
Yeah. So we would definitely say to it, and this is kind of a plug, but call us because we can make it work.
Right.
Is that too much to say?
No.
I said
Hashtag.
it. I said it. Call us. We can make it work. Okay. Cool. Okay. Question number 2. Is the quote I receive from you guys going to be accurate?
Right.
And I think, people, if you've worked with contractors before or you even had a turf installer come out, sometimes people can say, oh, it's going to be X amount of dollars. We got you. And then as soon as they start installing, they multiply that by like 3 or 4 times.
Right. Exactly.
So, yeah. People just want to know, is our quote going to be accurate? That's the question.
Right. And, we want it to be, we're into win-wins because obviously if it's uneven, there's going to be a bad review.
For sure.
But we try to get it as close as we can. That's why we need someone to come out to your house, a professional, to look at everything, because it's more than just saying, oh, here's the cost. It's going to be this turf, this rock. Now here's the cost. We need to look at drainage. A lot of our salesmen actually have a background in construction. They can look at your yard and go, okay, what's going to happen with the water? That's number one. I know the turf is perforated, but we get a lot of rain, you get some snow, whatever it's going to be. We want to make sure that your water's going to the right place.
Yeah.
So that's the main thing. Is once they take a look at it, we draw it on ArcSite. It's going to be pretty close. However, if you want to make some changes, like we've had, some customers, they'll actually have a set amount of turf, but then have one side yard that's just grass for some reason.
Yeah.
Then they see the turf.
They're like, I need turf everywhere.
And then they want to install the rest. So it just depends on some of the changes, but it's not going to be as drastic as you've seen probably some contractors out there do.
Yeah. And I think too, our process and how we come up with our quote is very accurate. And you'll see this process when you book your design consultation. Our team will come out and take some measurements, and the measurements will be directly received on our iPad. And from there, we'll be able to not only give you the square feet of your backyard, but also show you a mock drawing of your custom design as a whole, as well as an accurate quote for your install. And all this is happening the day of your consultation. So we don't have to go back to the office and figure some stuff out. The day that we come out for the consultation, we'll be able to tell you the price. And so because we use all this technology, our quotes are pretty close. Everything is pretty close. You're not going to have anything that's a surprise. And
That's it.
I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, being able to see your render, your 3D render,
before
you see the project, I think that's what sets us apart too from companies. Is you have contractors come out there on a whim, and you'll see our guys are very uniform. Our process is the same at each place, and with ArcSite, you're able to actually see. Where the rock's going to go. If you have outdoor lighting, turf, fire pits, you're going to be able to see exactly what's going to go on your actual yard.
Yeah. So we're not eyeballing it out there and then writing something on a napkin like, it'll be about this amount. It's the actual mathematical process that we have going on here.
Right.
Cool.
Yeah.
That brings us to our final question of the day. Is turf worth the investment?
Yes.
I knew he was gonna say that. And something about his outfit gave it away. I felt like he was gonna say yes. But yeah, so is turf worth the investment? And if so, why?
So to answer that, some of the basic yeses in that is it worth the investment is, it's less maintenance in your backyard. Of course, that equals more time for you and your family for whatever you want to do on Saturday or whenever. Because instead of waking up on the weekend thinking I've got to do this chore, mowing the backyard, weed eating, now you don't. All you have to do, even if it's necessary, is blow off the turf if you want to, if you have a tree or maybe your neighbors have trees. So that's one. Two is I think you save money on water. So So we cap off all the sprinklers, and then you're gonna, instead of you hosing your grass down to try to get it green again or whatever, you don't have to do that.
Man, if you live in Texas and you're trying to keep grass alive at these 101 degree summers that we have out here, I mean, you're going to spend some money. I've had customers tell us they spend about $400 a month just on their sprinkler bills.
Right.
Like trying to get that, the grass green and make it grow. And in my opinion, turf then becomes worth the investment instantly.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. If you're one of those families who like to entertain, and you want to use your backyard as a place to entertain, your yard is always ready to go.
That's true.
So if you're looking at a backyard barbecue, you just want to have some friends over, or or the pool or something like that, your backyard is ready to go. You don't have to say, hey, you go, mow the yard and get it cleaned up and the leaves. You're ready for action whenever.
Yeah, it's another living space for you to host people.
Right.
And it's your house becomes kind of like the host place.
Yeah.
And plus if you have a putting green back there, to mention that.
Yeah.
We do those. Hello. You have a putting green back there. You can work on your short game or have people over, and kids love it too.
Yeah.
So.
And even if you look at like the design process, which we mentioned before in I think the first or second question, but we've had golfers who design their putting green, and they tell us which breaks they want. They want holes that look like this and lean this way, so they can get a step up above their competition when they're practicing. So yeah, I mean, if you look at it in that aspect, if you're a golfer, it's definitely worth the investment.
Absolutely. And one other piece I would mention, if you have kids like I do, they get energetic. And you can't always take them to the park. You can't take them to there 24/7. Yes, of course you can sometimes. Communities have nice parks. But that's why we offer play pads. Yep. So not to mention also that your backyard will be more level. I don't know if you had issues with your backyard. It might be kind of wavy and stuff like that. The ground does get cracks in it, things like that because of the heat. Yeah. But with the turf, with the base that we put on and compact, it's more level. And plus we put the play pad on so that your kids have a safer time with a playground in the backyard.
For sure. I mean, we could go on dogs, muddy dogs, the bugs that don't get harbored in the turf. There's so many things. If you want a 1,000 reasons list why turf is worth the investment, just drop a comment below and we'll work on that video.
We should mention that though, out of the 1,000 is that pets. We do a lot of pet turf throughout the year. I mean, that is probably our number one product.
Yeah,
is pet turf, and that's because it equals less allergies for your dogs
easily.
And for you, kids even too, less bugs, things like that. That's probably I'd say number one for the investment.
Yeah. So all those reasons are why turf is worth the investment.
Yes.
Cool.
All right, guys. Well, that finishes up podcast number 2. Dose. And if you have any comments, you can, of course, put them below. You can also call the number on your screen if you are interested in a quote for turf or having somebody come out to your place and give you a bid. And then, of course, you can check us out on social media. We have a YouTube channel, Instagram, Facebook. You can message us there, and even TikTok if you want to check us out on there. 365 Custom Turf is everywhere. Yeah. And other than that, I guess the Turf Bros.
Turf Bros.
Jay's been trying to get me to say that. Turf Bros.
He's committed now. We're Turf Bros.
Is signing out. Until the next video, we'll see you then.
All right. I know everything just.
Dude, I feel like you're running out of stamina.